Today, I want to share some wonderful comedy from Allison Speer during the Gaither Women of Homecoming. Allison is known for her beautiful singing, but moments like these remind us that she's also one of the most naturally funny storytellers in the Homecoming family. As you listen to her stories, here are my thoughts and reflections on what makes her humor so special. What I love about Allison Speer's comedy is how she brings her family to life. She doesn't just tell jokes, she shares memories, real people, real moments, stories that feel like home. 1. Her grandmother, sweet, godly, and hilariously honest. Allison begins with her grandmother, a woman full of love, faith, and wide-open warmth. You can feel the affection in every word as she describes her granny as someone who saw everyone as fearfully and wonderfully made. She makes you smile before the joke even arrives. Then Allison delivers that perfect punchline. Every woman in the world needs a good husband. There are just some things you can't blame on the government. That line is comedy gold because it's unexpected and full of old-fashioned sass. You laugh, but you also fall in love with the woman behind the joke.
Well, my grandmother was just a wide-open personality. I mean, she just loved everybody. She had no malice, no guile, and she looked at you, you're fearfully and wonderfully made by God. That's how God made you. That's how you're supposed to be. And she looked at everybody like that. You were perfect to her. And she always said the cleverest things. When Brian and I got married, my grandmother looked at me and she said, "Oh, honey, I'm so glad you got yourself a good husband, honey. Every woman in the world needs a good husband. There are just some things you can't blame on the government."
2. The Old Grasshopper and the Walmart Adventure. Allison moves into more family humor by describing her grandmother as the matriarch of their faith, godly, strong, and gentle. But even saints have moments. When she called Granddaddy that old grasshopper and said that if they could send one man to the moon, they could put them all up there, the audience erupted. It's the kind of humor only a grandmother can get away with, sweet but sharp. Then comes the unforgettable Walmart trip. Allison sets the scene so well that you feel like you're right there in the car. Her grandmother, wanting to stay independent at 82, proudly says, "Let's go to Walmart and see if they have anything new." They head toward Danville, Kentucky, reach the edge of town, and Granny speeds right through a red light without blinking. When Allison says, "Oh, Granny, that's a red light back there. You're supposed to stop at those." And Granny calmly replies, "Oh, was I driving?" It becomes one of those moments of pure, wholesome hilarity. Allison's timing, tone, and storytelling bring the entire scene to life.
And she was good through and through. She was the matriarch of our faith and a really godly woman. But every now and then she'd get aggravated at Granddaddy and she'd say, "That old grasshopper, that grasshopper, it looks to me like if they can put a man up on the moon, they could put them all up there." And the last time I ever rode with my granny, she moved in with Mama at age 82. Now, that was traumatic, but she wanted to drive every now and then to keep her independence. And the last time I ever rode with her, she said, "Let's go to Walmart and see if they have anything new." So we headed toward Danville, Kentucky to the Walmart. We got right to the edge of town, and Granny went underneath the red light as fast as she could go. She never looked up, never slowed down. I said, "Oh, Granny, that's a red light back there. You're supposed to stop at those." She said, "Oh, was I driving?"
Next, she introduces Aunt Lettie from a family with 11 brothers and sisters, meaning gatherings were loud, lively, and full of personality. When Allison says the family rule was, if you lose your breath, you lose your turn to talk. You can almost hear the noise of their reunions. Then comes Aunt Lettie's 104th birthday party. It's warm, beautiful, and full of family affection. But then Aunt Lettie, in all her honesty, looks up toward heaven and says, "Everybody I know is dead. Frank's been gone 40 years. Hart's been dead 35. Everybody I know, I guess they're all up in heaven thinking I went somewhere else." It's hilarious, not because of disrespect, but because it's the kind of blunt truth older folks say with complete innocence.
And she had 11 brothers and sisters. When they all got together, they had all of their kids and their grandkids, and they had one rule. If you lose your breath, you lose your turn to talk. Aunt Lettie has just turned 104 years old. And at 104, we had her this big birthday party, and everybody gathered around her in the fellowship hall. And we loved on Aunt Lettie all afternoon. And at the end of her party, Aunt Lettie looked off up into the heavens, and she said, "Everybody I know is dead." She said, "Frank's been gone 40 years, and Howard, he's been dead 35 years. Everybody I know, I guess they're all up in heaven thinking I went somewhere else." That's my good people.
And Allison retells it with such love that you laugh and smile at the same time. When she ends by saying, "That's my good people," you feel the affection behind her words. Her comedy honors her family. It celebrates them, and that's what makes it so powerful. Why Allison's comedy works. Allison Speer's humor connects because it's rooted in real life, real memories, real emotions, real people she loves. Her comedy never feels forced. It's gentle, natural, and full of heart. And during the Gaither Women of Homecoming events, she brings a kind of joy that lights up the whole room. And if you'd like to learn more about Allison Speer, her life, her music, and her ministry, I've already uploaded her full biography on my channel. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the description below. What makes Allison Speer's comedy so special is that it's more than just laughter. It's a window into a life full of love, faith, and family. Through her stories, we see how joy can be found in the simplest moments, whether it's a grandmother's wisdom, a centenarian's honesty, or the playful chaos of a big family gathering. Every line, every story reminds us that laughter and love are deeply connected, and that humor often comes from the purest, most authentic places in life. Allison's storytelling teaches us an important truth. Life is made richer when we take the time to celebrate the people around us, to cherish the quirks that make them unique, and to find joy in ordinary, everyday moments. She shows us that even in the midst of challenges, in the face of age or hardship, there is always room for laughter, light, and connection. Her grandmother, Aunt Lettie, and the other family members in her stories aren't just characters. They're reminders that faith, love, and humor can coexist in the most beautiful way. They teach us that we don't have to take life too seriously to live it well, and that sometimes the greatest wisdom comes wrapped in a joke, a playful story, or a candid observation. So, as we laugh along with Allison Speer, let's also reflect on what her stories reveal. That love is patient and kind, laughter heals, and family is priceless. Let's be inspired to carry a little of that joy into our own lives, sharing a kind word, a heartfelt smile, or even a good-natured laugh with someone we love. Because at the end of the day, it's these moments, the laughter, the love, the connection, that truly make life meaningful. Allison Speer reminds us that even in a world that can feel complicated and heavy, there's always a reason to laugh, to love, and to celebrate life. And that is a lesson worth holding on to.